hypnotised and transfixed. I knew that what I want to play guitar, that's all I want to do. And I picked it up. I basically picked it up and never put it down. But just to like, that was my like getting into music inspiration. I always look back to bands like Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath. Again, I was shown by my parents that you get a snapshot of it, and then that's like where I wanted to go with it. But these days, like as for inspiration when writing, I feel more inspired by like events and happenings, and it's my experiences and like connecting with people and meeting people and like, you know, music's something for all of us, I hope, that can take you back to moments, right? So you hear a song and it just transfixes you to a time in your life. So I think that's really cool. There isn't much else that can do that. So I guess when I'm writing, it's how do I capture that moment and make it into something. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, I'm, and I guess kind of always in terms of playing, I've always been very inspired by the kind of rhythmical styles of like Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, kind of mixed to the other side of the spectrum with, you know, the Strokes, and that kind of very rhythmical, kind of drone-like playing that kind of they're able to create. It's something that was, you know, first time watching that, I saw Mark Knopfler play. I was like, that's incredible. He's doing something with the guitar and expressing himself in a way in which I've never seen any other guitarist do. And that was really special to me. And I love rhythm. It's like the core of music and everything. It's like rhythm's one of my favourite parts of it. So yeah, guitarists like that.
For me, my dad got me my guitar when I was really, really young, and he always used to listen to Jimi Hendrix in the car. And that's like one of my like first guitarists that I ever like fell in love with, and really sort of took a lot of inspiration from. And then I sort of got into the, sort of like the Linkin Park and the heavier side of rock, got me into sort of listening to metal and stuff. But I mean, all of us listen to a lot of different music, and it's just all adds to the creative pot that creates the music that we make. So yeah, it's nice that we all listen to loads of different stuff. So
yeah, I get inspired by bands and artists who are like prolific writers and constantly changing their style and approach to making albums. I love bands like the Ramones, who just are cool as fuck and have real attitude, and then bands today like the Arctic Monkeys. They are constantly progressing and working really hard, churning out albums every year. People like Elvis Costello, who just write songs like it's drinking water. So those kind of artists inspire me.
First, thank you so much. The past 2 years you really helped me, so thank you all for that. Also, rough ride, still here. What I wanted to ask, is there a song that you haven't written yet that is really that you want to write, or something that you want to write for, like your musical dream in that sense?
Yes. Short answer, yes.
Okay.
I think, like, do you like create? Are you creative? Okay, so I think I said this yesterday, so you understand that you might understand rather, not sorry, I'm gonna try and not push me onto you. You might understand that when you are creating, or when I am creating, or when one is creating, it's never finished. You're always trying to get to that next thing, and there's always, and no matter how good somebody's like, your work, that work's amazing, that's so good, you're like, I feel like I can do better, and I think that that's how I feel, and that's always where I'll be going, is like, I've definitely written songs and I've been like, killed it, because I'm, egomaniac, but there's always gonna be that dragon that I'm going to be chasing. It's that drug, it's that thing that fuels me. Is there anything that I'd like to write for? Whew. I don't know, man. I mean, Craig the other day played me Biffy, I don't know where he's gone, bless him. Biffy Clyro just written an entire record for a movie. And that was always something that like interested me. I was like, oh, that's big. And then I just was thinking about it, I was like, it's like the hardest fucking thing to do in the world. Are you kidding? Like you have these, you're like boxed in immediately by someone else's story. So I don't know. There's definitely more things that I want to do, and definitely avenues that I will be pursuing that I think that have not been pursued yet for us. But there's nothing that I'm like, I want to write the score for a horror movie or anything like that yet. It'd be cool, but yeah. I'd probably suck at it.
We'll see where it goes. Straight on this for now.
Okay.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah. At first I want to say congratulations on the amazing show last night. It was awesome.
Thank you.
And there was a part we didn't understand you right about the song Picture of You. Did you vote for Ruby or did Ruby vote for you?
Oh no, I wrote it for Ruby.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I stole her lyrics. She wrote a poem, and I stole her words.
Sure, we wasn't sure if I understand you right.
No, I wrote it for her. It's about our relationship, and it began as most songs do in one space, which I was talking about last night, which is the holiday that we had in Italy, right? And songs for me tend to like start in one environment and in one like specific, and then they sort of move through a feeling and an emotion, and they sort of capture everything. So that song it starts there and it moves through that. Yeah, it's a nice
It
thing.
makes you feel happy you are each other. It makes each other.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's do you know what's an interesting experience is like growing as a person and having somebody to like call you or call me out on my things, because I'm quite an anxious person. I tend to like worry about what's going on in front of me, and I act out upon those things. And those aren't like I don't like I'm not necessarily aware of that all the time. So to have somebody be like, you're behaving like this, and I'm like, well, I'm feeling this, is like, it's crazy, because you just like, oh, the world is like, oh, blown up, and you're like, fuck, I don't have to behave like that, be like me. So yeah, thank you. I don't know why I just went off on that. Thanks. Yes.
So, what was it like to focus on playing in a band rather than acting? Because it seems like you don't act as much as you maybe have to.
It's all an act. It's not. How was it? It was. It's funny. I've always loved this. This has always been like who I am. Music has been the person that I am since I was a kid. When I was like, it's like 11 years old. I actually borrowed. Tristan had a guitar. I think it was like a black Fender or black Straps. He had something. Yeah, Squire. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, Tristan had a crap guitar that I borrowed from him, and I learned. I say learned. I did a performance of a song by a band called Free, I think, but I hadn't learned how to play the chords. I just stood up there and I mimed the entire thing. So this was like in my blood. I love this. And when I have been acting in the past, I have always been playing music as well. When I first started working as an actor at the age of 18, I was playing shows, and when I was like 17 and 16, I used to play drums in like a crappy indie band in London, and I used to like sneak out of school and, you know, like go and play shows in like crap clubs. No, it was a band called William K. was the band name. Yeah, I don't think anything really exists. There's like 2 videos on YouTube to us playing to like 3 people in a pub in North London. So this has been like part of my like biological and emotional makeup since I was born, basically. It's just that the acting as a career took off before this did. I've always tried to keep both hand in hand. They're both creative pursuits. I'm a creative person. I'll always try and put as much of my personal self and my energy into whatever it is that I'm creating or whatever it is that I'm giving. How has it been? It's been interesting. I haven't really been aware of the shift, of the change, of the dynamic. I think what I'm seeing in cinema is crap roles. I'm not seeing many like brilliant movies that are coming out, and certainly no like amazing scripts are coming across my desk. The last amazing script that came across my desk was a TV show that I did called Will, and it was the character Marlowe that I fell in love with, and I loved that. But like since then, you know, there's been a couple of things, but like it's hard, it's different, you know. It's like the world of cinema now is like full of Marvel, and it's not really a world in which I think I like can exist at the moment. I prefer sensitivity, so I don't know, haven't been aware. Sorry, I banged on for like 20 minutes. Thank you for your question there. I've just finished working on something, yeah, the you know, when and if something that's brilliant falls into my lap, or I find it, or I create it, I have an idea to create something at the moment. It will involve me having to go into a particular environment and talk to particular people. But yeah, if and when it happens, it happens. But don't worry, I'll be back on your laptop soon enough. You're welcome. Yes, you. I'll come to you.
How did your writing process go? Because it's been a while since you come back with some music.
How did the writing process go? Hi, thank you for your question. I'll let Roland start with this one.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. We originally, what did we do? We actually moved into a house together in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of England. It was like this country farm place with no neighbours. We had sheep for neighbours, so we could make as much noise as we wanted. And we moved, and it was like, there was no insulation, it was really cold, and we moved in over winter. We moved in like September time, I think, and we did 6 months there writing, which was cool, because we'd never done that before. Like, everyone was based kind of all over the place. So it's the first time we'd lived together, not on a tour bus, which was super exciting because for us it's very new. So we jumped in, we had like writing rooms, we had a rehearsal room, we basically wrote loads of songs there for a long time, 6 months. We must have had like over 25, 30 ideas that we then cut down and chopped and changed and stuff. And then from that we went out, we did a bit of touring, we did America, and then we started doing some writing over in the States as well. Just again, like, just trying to be creative, just trying to keep it going. Jamie and I did a lot of writing together, which was cool. Just like trying to get weird on it and see where we could push things and you know, not try and box yourself in, which I think something as an artist, you're always wanting to progress, you're always wanting to do more and grow. And I think that if we just, at least for me, if I just do the same thing over and over, then I'm not growing as an artist. And yeah, so we've ended up with this new record, recorded in November through to April. And it's very soon coming out.
Yeah, it was tough in parts. It was tough. Some parts came easier, some parts were harder. We were and have tried to, as Roland said, like push ourselves into a new sphere and a new like dynamic in a new place. And when we first moved into this house, I don't know if you know the story about the Rolling Stones when they went into exile in France. And it's something that I've been obsessed with, like since I saw that they did this when I was like, I don't know, in my teens. I was like, oh, man, I want to do that. I want to go and like live in a house with a band and like write, and you know, we had no tax to pay, so we were okay. We didn't actually have to leave, but we chose to. And when like I first started going into this process, the material that I was creating was very similar to the material that existed on album 1. And that is, as I found out, a very comfortable space for me to be in, a very comfortable writing space for me to be in, but not necessarily the most like creative and the most fulfilling, you know? I said earlier about like I like music to be a battle, and there's something about that when you're writing where you're like, you've got to like wrangle this beast, and it's like there's like this devil on your shoulder, and like it feels like your brain is going to implode, and like, oh my god, it's awful. And then you break through the other side, and you're able to look back at it objectively, and you're like, oh cool, sick, that's what that means. Like, okay, great, that's amazing. And so as we sort of went on the journey, the process grew and it developed and it became more fluid and it just became a bit harder in places. You know, the first album we had 26 years of life to write about. This one I had 3 years of life, what I'm experiencing at this point in time in its lyrical content. So, you know, I had to be very present, a little bit more present. But it's shifted, which has been really nice. The shift in like tone has been lovely. I think I'll talk about it later this evening. Probably I spoke about it a lot last night. I went off last night. It was crazy. Like the shift tonally in what the first record was to what this is now is like the first album very much existed in a personal woe is me. I'm feeling this, and this is where I'm going to remain space. It's like sad, upset, angry, you know, hopeful, but hopeful because I'm like, oh Jesus, like there's got to be someone else. You know what I mean? And this one recognizes those things, but then also is able to take a step up from it and take a step like back from that. And look at that and look at itself. Like there's a song on there, on this record, which is about like, is it sort of, it's like the funny side of depression, you know? Like I can suffer from that, like in my darkest moments. And we've written a song on this record that's about me wanting to die in a car crash because I'm so like sad, but I want to die in this car crash just to piss off all the rich people that are on Sunset Boulevard, you know? It's like, it's those kind of things. And I think in that, like, in what I was saying about being able to create something and then take a step back from it, this record has definitely shown me parts of myself that I am aware of, but I'm able to, like, look onto them rather than exist in them, you know? We all can, like, swill and drink our pain. Like, we love our pain, don't we? It's beautiful. Our pain is gorgeous. It's what helps us create. It's who we are. But in fact, the truth of the matter is that sitting in that for too long doesn't work. Sucks. Shit. Fucking, it's not. It's consuming. Whilst it's there and we all have it, we don't have to live in that. We can recognize it and we can be like, this is okay. Everybody feels this. Everybody's, yeah, you're with me, fuck. Like it's that, and that's what this album is. You know, that's what this record is it's like, it's okay. Like it's okay. And that's what I want to bring. So, yeah. No, thank you, fuck. Bless you. Okay, I've got time for one more. Yes,
I don't really have a question. I just wanted to thank you for being who you are and giving us these inspiring things because, well, it helped not only me but my girlfriend through life, and that just, I wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You're thanking us for being who we are. That's crazy.
You literally saved my life.
Yes.
Not only once but twice.
Yes, you did.
I was ready to step out of life, and you tweeted something and you deleted it within 3 minutes, but it saved me. And that's what you always do. It's let you know whenever I feel bad, you do something incredible just to show me that it's all okay.
Life can be beautiful too.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank
You
you.
don't even know me, but you mean the world to me.
Thank you. Just so you're aware, like, whilst we find inspiration in other people and whilst other people can lift us up, you are the sole reason that you are here today. Nobody else has brought you here. That is you. That is your inner strength. I'm 4 years sober. When I first went into Alcoholics Anonymous, I walked into that room and I was like, I'm in here because I want my relationship to be better and I want to survive and I'm doing this for this other person. And someone said to me, no, you're doing this for you. So what you've done by being here is for you and your strength. And what you've done, maybe without knowing it, is you've gone and found strength in those people that you trust and that those people that you know share a pain and share what it means, because whilst our experience may differ, the emotion that we're left with is very much the same thing. So your strength is yours, and hold on to that, maintain that. It's your shit, you fucking smashed it. Well done, you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So we're going to do some pictures now.